So you're thinking about making a move out to Kent, but you're not quite sure if it's right for you or not. Well, today is going to be your lucky day. I'm going to take you through a full vlog tour of the city of Kent, show you all around the city, tell you all about it, and take you through 3 different neighborhoods so you can get an idea of what it's like to live here. And we're getting after it right now. Hey, Chris, myself, and our team, we're getting phone calls and texts and emails every single day from people just like you and you and you and you, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking at making a move out here to Kent in the next 3 days or the next 3 months, shoot us a phone call, text, or an email so we can help you make that smooth move out to Kent. While Kent is the 2nd largest suburb of Seattle, and it does have so much to do, one of the best things about Kent is still nature. Now, you know, if you watch any of my other vlogs, I am a huge fan of nature. I'm a huge fan of being outside. And today we're at the Old Fishing Hole here in Kent, a great place to bring your kids for a little local fishing excursion. Now, of course, I grew up between Kansas and Missouri. Fishing was a big deal for us. We did it all the time. It was a great way to kill the afternoon. Some of my favorite memories with my dad are out fishing, specifically catfishing and bass fishing on big ponds, off quiet streets. And the Old Fishing Hole kind of brings that all back for me. So if that's kind of something that's really important to you as you're looking for your move, this little spot is a really good one. You can bring your kids out here. They can fish. There's a nice little walking trail. There is herons, there's geese. You can see the big pole back there telling the story of cedar and salmon. There's all kinds of just wonderful stuff out here for your family. And parks across Kent are abundant. There's so much outdoors, whether you're into hiking, riding bikes, no matter what, you know, your outdoor activity is, there's a ton of opportunity for it out here, just like here at the Old Fishing Hole. But the cool thing is that it also is one of the bigger metros in the Seattle area with almost 140,000 people now. So you get some of the nice nature and the opportunities to take advantage of that, but you also get to have a feel of city life. It's a really interesting blend of large and small kind of pieced together. You're also not super far from Mount Rainier National Park out here, and you split Seattle and Tacoma completely even. It's 19 miles up to Seattle, and it's a perfect 19 miles down to Tacoma. So you literally split the two of them as perfect as you possibly can. And when we say split as perfectly as you possibly can, I mean, I just made it up to the Amazon headquarters the other day in just 24 minutes. Kent schools are also pretty amazing. They're actually the 4th largest school district in the entire state of Washington. There's over 28 elementary schools, for example. So there are a lot of young people and a lot of younger children in Kent, which means this community is going to be growing quicker and quicker and quicker. There's a lot of new attractions. Jobs like Blue Origin are starting to pull in more people, with over 5,000 aerospace jobs coming. Not to mention that Kent actually is situated right between 167 and I-5, which makes it basically the perfect location. You are literally in the middle of everything. One of the great things about living in Kent, even though it's, you know, just 15 minutes into the downtown core of Seattle and you're just, 19 miles away from Tacoma, is that you're not completely dependent on the larger cities for your entertainment. There are so many of these smaller suburbs between Tacoma and Seattle that completely are reliant on you having to get to Seattle or Tacoma in order to have things to do. But that's actually not the case when it comes to living in Kent. We are right now in the Kent kind of shopping station here, and it has some different things. It has some restaurants, like Duke's is right over here. It's got different, obviously retail shops. Great coffee shop right here. But one of the things I love about it also is it does have the movie theater here in town. So, whether you're wanting to go go eat somewhere, whether you're wanting to shop, whether you want to go take in a movie, all those basic forms of entertainment are all right here in town. You're not having to travel far, to hit those. Now, obviously, if you're living in Tacoma or Seattle, you have access to those. But if you're living in some place like Sumner, Bunny Lake, Puyallup, you might be having to do a little bit more of a trip in order for you to get access to some of those things. You'll also see people out here just frankly chilling out. There's nice little benches, there's fire pits. People are just kind of taking it easy and shopping, just really kind of, killing time. Now, as a dad, I'm not super big into shopping. I mean, I like to get what I like to get and then kind of kick rocks. I know the rest of you dads are too, but if I can come out here, shop for a little bit, and then I can eat, and then maybe go hit up a movie, it's totally worth it. Another thing about down here that's excellent, that kind of, as someone who likes to go out on dates and also just has the dad brain in general, is there is a ton of parking. You're not paying for a ton of parking, you're not spending a lot of money on parking, and you're not having to park miles and miles away to access a lot of things here like you're going to when you hit Seattle or Tacoma. Now, this is not the only area that has a lot of amazing things to do. Kent overall is a community that is really plugged in. Everything from, the big pumpkin patches in the fall, which is one of our most favorite traditions. We go out every year here in Kent, pick a ridiculous amount of pumpkins up, eat sweet corn, have some drinks. Overall, that's one of our favorite things. But also, like, the Saturday markets here are incredible. There's Cornucopia Days, which is, of course, part of Seafair. And down the road here, of course, is Showware Arena, which hosts the Seattle Thunderbirds, which is a minor league hockey team here in Kent. And it is probably my favorite sporting event to take my kids to. And here's why. Look, I love my kids, but they don't always soak up sports when it looks like the comparison of how much that shit costs sometimes, right? Like, my daughters don't really care that much about football, so why would I spend an exorbitant amount of money going to a Seahawks game? But the Thunderbirds, the tickets are not super expensive. These kids go after it hard. They hit, they fight. It is an incredible and super entertaining experience, and one of definitely the best things about living in Kent, hands down. So, you're gonna get areas like this where there's plenty to do right here in town. You've got a good big school district, and there are fantastic jobs here in Kent. Like, the top three are gonna be, obviously, like your Boeings, Amazon, and the school district here in Kent are gonna be your three major employers. But there are also great ones like, Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' aerospace company that's moved into town. So there's a lot of opportunities on that end as well. All right, our first neighborhood here in Kent is going to be the Lakes. Now, the Lakes is a really cool neighborhood. I love it. It's right here on the Green River. There is a bunch of water. This is actually composed of about 19 separate communities that all kind of coalesce into one giant community. Now, the Lakes has all of it. It's got your traditional single family homes. It has got condos for sale. It's got townhouses for sale, and it even has apartments for rent. And each one of these different areas are actually ran by their own HOA. So that's going to be something where if you're absolutely, not in love with HOAs, the Lakes might not be a good spot for you. But what I will tell you is, as I kind of walk around this neighborhood, all of these homes are in excellent shape. The public grounds look stunning, and there's a really, really wide range of options for you. Like I said, have everything from, lower end condos around the mid 300s to, full price homes up around the 700s. Really, no matter what your lifestyle is, you can have, there's beautiful parks here, there's the water. For example, this area right here, this lakeside area, is completely gated. So maybe you start off in the condo and you really love the area, and over time you end up upgrading and move into one of these gated communities. That is one of the best parts I really think about this community, is just the ability to move through life out here. And for Kent being a bigger city and downtown being so busy, I say this a lot, but it's so freaking quiet out here. Like, this is definitely a neighborhood where I would let my kids outside, where I'd be totally comfortable with my teenage girls taking a stroll in the park on their own, and even where I would feel pretty safe with my son riding his bicycle around. There's a lot of, dead-end spaces. There's a lot of cul-de-sac type streets, and just a lot of really good opportunities. I think if you're looking for more of that family living, that option's there with the condos and the townhouses. If you're, not trying to raise a big family, if it's just you or maybe just your partner, this would be a fantastic spot, because you're going to get that out of town feeling. You're going to feel like you're out of town, but you're right here. Now, the one exception to that is, oddly enough, like if you go just over there, there is this weird stack of warehouses and this industrial space. I thought that was kind of strange. But overall, this is the Lakes. Cute area, cute neighborhood with a lot of options for different types of living. Now let's jump back in the Challenger. Let's cruise around the lakes here and see what you think. Hey, by the way, if you know everything going on right here in the local market in Kent, would you please just hit that subscribe button? That way you can be the first one to know about what's going on right here. All right, back to the car. Here we are in our second neighborhood in Kent. This is Scenic Hill. Now, I love Scenic Hill because it is a great combination of different types of family units. So everything from elementary schools that bring in younger families to this being a neighborhood that actually has a full senior care center. So a lot of people moving even past that retirement phase. So this neighborhood, particularly right here, has such an amazing blend. You're also really close to Kent Meridian High School, which is one of the, I think one of the top schools in the Kent school system. Now, out here in particularly, we've talked a lot about schools in Kent and it being one of the bigger school districts. But I just had a lady reach out to me. She lived in the Bellevue area. She told me that she's really loving living in Kent because her kids in Bellevue only had 2 elementary schools, and she was having to drive like a super, super long way just to get kiddos to school. Whereas, then they only have the 2 elementary schools, I think 2 middle schools, and maybe 1 public high school. Everything else is private. So when they came out here, at that point, then everything is public school systems. There's 28 like elementary schools here, so there's so much opportunity. And this neighborhood here also has a elementary school right in the middle of it. Plus, I really like the combination of the types of homes. So out here, you're going to see everything from these new builds that are kind of similar to, my neighborhood out in Tahale, which are great builds, super efficient, beautiful, newer built homes. And then you're also going to have a lot of older homes. There's also quite a bit of duplexes and triplexes and, even some apartments up here in Scenic Hill. And of course, you're just sitting over the top of, the city of Kent up here. Really, really great location. You're also really close to Earthworks Park out here. So, if you want to be kind of close to everything, but you want to have a little bit of space and some diversity in the fact that, you can buy homes from 400,000 all the way up to over $1 million out here. Scenic Hill is a really wonderful blend of opportunities that you can take advantage of when it comes to picking the right neighborhood. Again, this is a very safe, quiet neighborhood. In fact, man, unfortunately, the other day I was flying my drone out here. I actually didn't realize I was this close to SeaTac. The drone went down in these ladies' backyards, just down the hill here. And opened the door, lady answers it. Of course, a little uncomfortable, big guy, covered in tattoos, beating on her door. Her partner was not quite as accepting, was a little more frustrated, but in the end, we ended up having a great conversation. They actually helped me look for my drone, and we actually ended up finding out that it went down like behind somebody's house down the street. So it's got a really good, friendly neighborhood vibe up here in Scenic Hill. All right, now that we've kind of talked a little bit about what life is like around here in Scenic Hill, let's jump in the Challenger, take a quick cruise around, and I'll show you some of these areas. For our third and final neighborhood, we are here at Star Lake Crossing. Now, what you're seeing is basically just a bunch of land, right? Like if you turn around, just more land. Here's the great thing about Star Lake Crossing, and the reason why I wanted to share with you as the third and final neighborhood is Star Lake Crossing is a new development that's getting ready to come out from Sound Built Homes. And Sound Built Homes is a little more south, kind of my area. They're out of the Puyallup area. They build a really, really beautiful home, and they secured 47 lots here on the other side of Kent, which is West Hill, which is a wonderful area. This is really close to all the amenities, like everything you need. There's literally a park right there, a fire station right there, elementary schools just around the street. You can see they've already got one little park kind of built up here in the neighborhood. They got the mailboxes in, water, utilities, everything's ready to go. Soundville only has 47 lots for this little community, which is going to be Star Lake Crossing. It's obviously close to Star Lake. But another thing about this area that I thought was perfect is, one, we've had a lot of people that are reaching out to us, just like you, that are wanting to move out here to the greater Tacoma, Seattle area. And they're starting to lean really heavily on new construction. It's becoming more and more popular because by the time we get your house on the market out in Ohio and we get you out here, it could take a few months. So, you know, right now, the way the market's situated, you can pretty much buy a brand new build home for the same price as what you would get for a lot of your resale type properties. This neighborhood, listen, there is a huge light rail expansion, okay? Kent is a wonderful place. It's 19 miles Seattle, 19 miles to Tacoma, but just right there, like right through those trees. Like you can imagine, you just cut right through them. Don't do that, because in Washington, we like our freaking trees. But if you could cut right through those trees, you would see the new Star Lake light rail station getting built. So if you were someone that wanted to, you know, live and work still in Seattle, or, you know, maybe Bellevue, whatever, and you don't want to be driving all the time, if you were to build on one of these lots right here, like on pretty much any of these, you know, by the time that light rail station got done, your house would be done, and then you'd have a quick shot in and out of the city. And man, it would be probably one of the most convenient places that you could live out here in Kent. So all right, well, there you have it. You know, I showed you around Kent, showed you some of the homes in the area, a little bit of the things to do, and just gave you a little insight to what life is like living right here in Kent. So, you know, Chris, myself, and our team, we are getting phone calls, texts, and emails literally every single day at this point. I kid you not. So whether you're looking at making a move in the next 3 days or the 3 months out here, shoot us a phone call, text, or an email. Even more preferably, set up a Zoom so you and I can get face to face. That way we can help you make that smooth move out here to Kent. And until next time, I cannot wait till you actually get out here so I can show you around.